Hey, 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 hey. Hello and welcome back to Candid Talk with Lexee Love and
Valentino versus Valentino.
How are you guys doing this evening? It is a Sunday evening and we had to move, but hey, we're here, right?
Yeah,
we are
we're
here.
it work.
Yeah. So how's everybody this Sunday evening, afternoon? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
You doing pretty good?
Yeah, we had a good day.
Yeah.
We cooked.
Yeah. They cooked for me. Oh my gosh. The mac and cheese.
First time ever making homemade mac and cheese.
And it was the sniznit.
You gotta pat myself on the
Yes,
back.
I ain't gonna lie. Yes, she did. It was really good. Then we had cabbage. Mercedes made cabbage, and I love cabbage. And then you made a roast.
Yeah.
And she made cornbread. So yes.
Now we got these awesome drinks.
Yeah, we did our Instagram
Live.
and you made this
Spicy margarita.
Yes, beautiful drink. Beautiful. And go ahead and say what the ingredients is.
So tequila, lime juice, sweet and sour, triple sec, and of course I added jalapenos.
Yes.
And lime. Like
yes.
Circle limes.
Yes. And then what'd you do? You did the
shook it up.
Shook it up. We didn't stir it. We didn't blend it. We shook it.
Right.
And that's the beautiful creation, and it's really good.
Because we talk about your newfound tequila.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just learned that if you froth tequila, it tastes so much better. Yeah. But when you froth it, you little blender, you blend it up, and you pour it. It doesn't froth up. It'll froth while you're frothing it, but it goes back down to. But it tastes so much better.
So you can do that with anything, or just
I guess liquor, the vodka, if you want to do it with. Yeah, I was just watching, one of my videos that I always watch, and I was like, froth. Okay, I'm gonna try it. And I tried it, and I think the potency is much greater, but it's not as because sometimes when you drink tequila, it's kind of like, if you're not, But that was smooth. It was smooth. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was definitely because we did a little taster where she did it with it and then without it, and you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, clean your palate between it. Water. Drink some water, clean your palate, and then try it, and you can tell the difference on it. So yeah, our podcast today is we're gonna. You know what? Since this is gonna be the last few podcasts that we're gonna be doing before Valentina leaves to go to Nevada. We're just going to do pick a little topic, but we're going to still talk about anything and everything, what's going on in the world, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just, trying to, ad-lib, free flow, that kind of thing.
Right.
Nothing, stick to the point. Yeah. Let's, just be free about it. Yeah. I love her makeup. I love your eyebrows.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's just, I don't think I'll ever get that good as far as eyebrows. I don't know. Never know, especially if things go the way, different avenues of my life go, might be something that I'll be learning how to do. Yeah. So, before we really get started with the podcast, have any pet peeve, anything happen great for you this week? Or
just a regular week.
Just a regular Monday through Friday kind of situation.
Right.
Yeah, let's see. Anything, I talked about the fact that that I was casted in a featured film as a therapist. I told you guys that last week. Gosh, I guess pet peeves that I really don't have is just like anything else. It's just like, I deal with the public a lot.
Right.
And I think the public is, I don't know if it's something that is just in the water, but people just really don't know how to communicate. They just don't know how to do it. Right. It's like you got to pull information out of them. And that's like a pet peeve for me. If I got to ask a grown person and to pull out information from you, then I'm going to treat you like a kid.
Right.
Like, I'm going to see you as a child. I'm going to treat you like a child, and I'm going to respond to you like you're a child.
Correct.
That's one of my pet peeves, is trying to pull information out when you should already tell me what I need to know. I shouldn't have to ask you.
Right.
Like, somebody didn't, they don't know how to do certain things. And it's just like, how do you run a household? You got kids. How are you teaching them?
Right.
So, yeah. And then, so that's really my thing. I mean, nothing like anything spontaneous.
It looks really cute like that, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I just watched it. When I watched it, it just don't want to act. It just acts weird. Like, I like my hair kind of old because it does better. But when
moisture.
Yes, very moisture. But when I wash my hair, it takes a while for it to accept the moisture in my hair. So
to lock it in.
Yes. So yeah. So sometimes I just have to put it up, and then it'll be all right.
Right.
So yeah. But look at you, Miss Heidi. Beautiful as ever, as always.
Thanks.
Yeah. But that's how I raised y'all to be beauty queens anyway.
Right.
You did.
It's the drink.
Yeah, it's the drink. Yeah, she actually makes this for me before.
This is my first time making spicy margarita.
No. You always.
You talking about earlier today.
Yeah, she always demonstrates on me first to say, "Does this taste good? Is there anything we need to do better?"
Yeah.
But actually, you did it really good the first time. Like,
it's still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same. I think it's better, with the exception that you didn't put a rim on mine. The one that you, because I'm not a rim person.
Right.
But but it's still good.
Okay, but now I know you don't like rims now.
Well, I never like rims. Every time we go out,
because you feel like it's pointless.
I feel like it's pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, and that's something that I would like to find out. Like, why do they automatically put rims on margaritas?
Yeah, you have to tell them, I want it naked. I don't want nothing on it.
Right.
So I don't know if it's the presentation. They think it looks prettier.
Right.
But everybody don't like salt.
Or maybe because it's tequila, sometimes when people take shots,
lime,
they want salt, lime, rim. So maybe that's
why. But I always have to tell them I want it naked. Right. I drink my stuff straight up. I don't need no extra additives.
Yeah, because even sometimes, like, it's really weird. Mm-hmm. Like, people would ask to rim their, like, beer glass. Like, if they got, like, a non-domestic beer.
Like with salt?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's something in the taste of the beer.
Right.
And the salt mixed together. Maybe they like it. I would think
like you got to do it a certain way because it'll foam it up.
Yeah, but I'm just like, wouldn't that make you more dehydrated?
Right.
With salt on top of beer?
Right. Yeah.
You'd be more dehydrated?
Yeah.
But like I said, everybody's different. My mother used to always say, different people make the world go round. And she wasn't lying.
Right.
It's like the
really?
world. Yeah, like the world. I need you to spin a little faster so you can spin off some of these people.
Right. Exactly. We don't need them.
So the topic actually is what is friendship? And we're just gonna just use that as the palette of our podcast, and just experiences that we've come in contact, we've dealt with, or maybe in fact we don't really have any friendships.
So is this gonna be more so about our experiences or stuff that you've researched?
Well, I'm going to just give a little, the definition of what Google gave me. Right. And then there's some quotes that I just put it on a piece of paper. I don't even feel like typing it or anything like that because it's very, very short. And then experience, or what we come in contact with over the years since we were in high school, elementary school, grade school, and even as adults, how friendship has changed during the course of our lives.
Yeah.
And I feel that there is a difference. There is a difference with friendship, association, acquaintances,
right,
and even family, because even if you're family don't mean we friends, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I had to learn that because at one time I didn't understand family is friends, friends is family, and it's not. Right. Just because we relate don't mean we like each other.
Yeah.
So I guess it's everything. I didn't do anything of rapid relay or anything like that. I mean, we've done it. People kind of know who we are, what we like, and sometimes we just tell while we're doing the podcast. So I'm just going to kind of since the last few podcasts we're going to have, it's just going to be kind of off the cuff kind of situation.
Yeah.
And, hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to start back up again when we're together, hopefully, or Never know what happens. Yeah. Never know. Because I always say, the future is not, we don't know what the future is. So we just live in the present and we hope for the best in the future. So, yeah. So what is friendship? And so the definition of it based on Google is a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, and trust between two people. Well, obviously two people in a relationship, but obviously if you have more than one, then obviously whatever. It's between people.
Right.
And then what makes someone a friend? Honest and speaks from the heart with good intentions. And a quality friend is trustworthy. Mm-hmm. And I think that is one of the things, that's why I don't like to use the word friendship loosely.
Right.
Because I think trust is built. Mm-hmm. Loyalty is built. Quality time is built. Mm-hmm. You can't just call somebody a friend.
Right.
You can say, you're my acquaintance or,
my associate.
Yeah, my associate. Yeah, just kind of like, because I think when if you use it too loosely.
And people get upset about it. And it's just like, how are you upset?
Yeah. How you can't be because you haven't built that up yet.
Right.
And I'm finding, because when we were kids, we were just like, we go on the playground or whatever, and it's like, you're my friend. Right. And then the next day, they're not your friend. And then you guys, and then you're back together. You're my friend. So I think we are taught friendship loosely.
Right.
Like everybody's not your friend. But my mother taught me differently. She was just like, first of all, everybody's not your friend. And don't call everybody your friend. Because you know who your friends are when you can't do nothing for them and you are at rock bottom and you need help. That's when you'll find who your real friends are. Because everybody want to be your friend when you're up on top of the mountain. Everybody wants to be your friend there because they are benefiting what you got going on.
Right.
I want a friend when I'm rock bottom. That's the person that I want to be friends with. That's the person I'm going to really say that you are my friend because when I was rock bottom, you were there.
Right.
Even if you were just emotional support or you were like, is there anything that you need? Mm-hmm. A person, a lot of times, to me, even a friend, even if you are not even in a romantic relationship, mm-hmm. somebody who's your real friend pays attention to your needs.
Right.
They just pay attention to it.
Right.
That's what a real friend does. For me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I said I don't like to use that word loosely, mm-hmm. Because I think it's a definition that is more than what this society portrays.
Right.
Yeah, because somebody can flip on you like pancakes.
Right.
So what do you think? I mean, as far as like from when you were in school, how you saw it differently with friendships based then when you were a child to now as an adult. And you don't have to just something that you may remember or the differences.
Honestly, mm-hmm. Like when I was in school, I feel like I was the same way that I'm still now. Mm-hmm. Obviously a little bit different, but I've always just been like to myself.
Yeah.
And I've been okay with that. And of course, like, I've never really had drama and stuff like that, but there's always been those girls that were just kind of like, just messy.
Just want to be in your business because you're different,
right?
Or you're quiet.
Just drama,
mm-hmm.
typical high school stuff. Mm-hmm. There's always the mean girls, the bullies, mm-hmm. And people are still like that.
Yes, in the workforce.
I'm just like, really?
Like, how old are we? Oh, we're in our 30s or we're in our 40s and we acting like we still 15, 16.
Right. And y'all got kids. It's like, how are y'all raising y'all kids?
Yeah. And I don't think really anybody pays it. They don't really.
It's like they don't care. It's just kind of like.
Evaluate that behavior.
And it's, to me, I notice it's the same people. It's the same people that really don't have anything going on. They really just don't have anything better to do.
That's pretty much how it is. Messy people don't got nothing going on.
Right. They go to the same job every day, do the same thing. Mm-hmm, that's it.
Mm-hmm. The same thing. Their life is monotonous. Not sitting there saying that some of us don't have that, but a lot of us have goals or we have ambitions to do something else. These people probably don't have that. They just like, this is my life.
Right. So
and I'm gonna make it spicy by starting mess.
Right. Being in drama all the time.
Yeah, being drama and making everybody pay attention to me. Because that's really what it is. Attention seekers.
Right, when it boils down to it.
Yeah.
Because to me, if somebody has things going on, their ambition, you know, they're trying to move up, then they don't really have time.
They don't have time.
Focus on what everybody else is doing.
No, and that's funny that you say that. Is that a lot of times? I think it starts in the family unit, because I never really paid attention to it until I got much older. That your family teaches you how to deal with society. Right. So you have these monarchs, or you have these people that are top tier, and then how can I explain it? Like, if I'll just use you and your sister as an example, not saying that wasn't how it was, because I don't like favoritism. It bothers me because I never was a favorite. Right. So I don't like favoritism. And not saying that if I was a favorite, I would still like it. I just think it's very unfair to teach children how to, to go into the population society and know how to be a healthy individual. But a lot of times I would see in family where if the top tier person liked you more than they liked Mercedes, and you guys did the exact same thing, y'all did something bad, and you were the favorite, they would scold Mercedes and let you get away with it. So then to me, that's teaching a child. They're teaching a child how to deal in society when they become an adult, because you've always been, I can do whatever I want and I'm not going to get in trouble. And then when the one that always got in trouble, when she is, then you're going to start being like that top tier person. Oh, look at you. Even though they're doing the exact same thing you're doing. Who do you think you are? Why are you doing that bad stuff? Blah, 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 blah. Because you've been taught that this one is the bad one, because you were never disciplined. Right. And so that to me, family structure teaches you, it's very political. That's how I look at it. Family units are very political. And if you have the people generation before you, if they're all in cahoots with each other, and the one that runs the whole show is going to make all the other ones not like Mercedes. Right. I've seen it happen. And I've even questioned it. And I was blown. I mean, I've always been the black sheep. I've been blown out the water because I don't like people who cannot tell the truth. Just tell it. Just go ahead. My feelings gonna get hurt. I don't care. Like, I need you, because you're either gonna do one or two things: make me not have no respect for you, or just not talk to you anymore. Right. And that's how it is in my family. Like, I hardly talk to anybody because I feel like I don't respect none of y'all. I don't have no respect because y'all be lying, y'all be messy, y'all be hating, y'all are selfish, right? For no reason. Like, absolutely no reason. So, so friendship to me is on a whole different level. And I have a few people that I would consider friends because they've been there for me for a long time. Right. These are people that I've carried with me from my 20s all the way up till now. Right. So, I don't take friendship lightly. I don't take it lightly. And I'm an observer. I observe everybody's,
me too.
How they live, how they move, how based on what they say and how they act. To me, that if they are anti against each other, then that tells me what type of person that you really are. Right. That's how you really are. Because I saw this one podcast, and this guy was like saying, when an adult has to lie in order for you not to hurt your feelings, what is he afraid of? Right. What is he afraid of? Because a person who's not afraid doesn't lie. A person who's not afraid tells the truth. Right. A person who's not afraid deals with the consequences. That's how I go through life. That's probably why it's hard for me to get in certain types of circles. Right. Because everybody in there is fake and phony. Yeah. And they carry, and people, have two representatives. Well, they have a representative. They show you who they want you to see, and then that's what I'm saying. That's what, the friendship starts in the family. However you are raised, or however your other family members are treated, and you're watching this as a child growing up, then that's how you're going to perceive the world. And to me, you have to decide, is that going to be how you're going to live, or are you going to change?
Right. So,
yeah. And even like a lot of times people will sit there and say, well, that's how they are. No, they're adults now. They don't need to be like that. You need to, either going to change, figure out how to change your behavior, or I'm just not going to be part of your, your life anymore. Right. And I think we should do that in friendships as well. I'm coming to you honestly. I'm going to say, this is what I like. This is the boundary. This is whatever. Respect that. Right. And that person either going to respect it, or they're not going to be bothered. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, hey, friendship to me only doesn't even just start as a platonic friendship. It doesn't, let me take that back. Friendship starts as platonic friendship if it's a male and female. Right. Anytime that you meet the same sex as you and you are friendships, it has to grow. It has to build. There's trust that has to, and I'm not sitting there saying it's easy. I'm just saying that if you don't communicate things that you don't like, or you do want to communicate, but the other person doesn't want to listen, then maybe they really don't want to be your friend anyway. Yeah. That's how, I know, I feel like I'm just taking over the whole entire conversation.
No, I'm just taking it all in.
You're taking it all in? Well, I tell you what, I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going to put dating on the back burner right now, because it's just it seems like I'm meeting just people that are just weird. Right. That's the only way I can say it. Okay. This person that I met and just started talking to them on the phone, and they went on conversation and was very straightforward with me, blah blah blah, whatever. It was cool, whatever. I listened to what they had to say or whatever. And they're like, oh, women aren't looking for real men, and women think they know what they want, and I'm just listening, like I'm listening. And he's like, well, I went through therapy, he's just doing all this stuff, and I wanted to ask him, would you go to therapy for, like, were you psychotic? What happened for you to go to therapy? Because it's nice to know, because people go to therapy for different reasons. We already know this. Right. And so, he's like, well, I'm the type of person that likes to call or whatever. I said, that's cool. I don't have a problem with call. I said, I prefer you to call, because I don't like the texting, conversations, or all that stuff. To me, that's hiding behind a phone when you do that. And he's like, okay, that's cool. So yesterday, I had made Jillian some French toast or whatever and everything. And I was just, hanging out with you guys, just, really just, taking my time to get ready for me to go to work. So, he's going to text me.
The same person?
Yeah, this is going to text me. Just, basic stuff. He didn't call. He just basic. And he was like, I hate when the guys say this, WYD. I don't know why people think that that's like a cool thing to do. I just don't like it. Right. Or what is it?
When they abbreviate everything?
HRM. No, HRU. How are you? Right. That means I got to think about what you're saying. Like, okay, what is this? The abbreviation stuff, I think it's so juvenile. To me, it is. I just think, I know people are like, well, this is, so I won't have to type the whole thing. We were born in the time when we had to write perfect sentences. Right. We didn't have no abbreviation. We didn't do none of that. Right. So to me, when you do that, then you change the English language and stuff starts not making sense. But anyway, that's fine. I'll deal with it. I just don't like it. Right. And so I'm like, I told him what I was doing. And then he was like, then he said to me again, HRU. I just told you, I'm fine. I'm good. Right. Like, I wanted to say, why do you keep asking me the same question? I think that's just,
like you were ignoring him.
Yeah, like, I already told you, I'm fine. I'm good. And then, and then he's like, well, what are you doing? I was like, I looked at my phone. I was like, I'm gonna block this dude now. I just want to block. I'm ready to block. Like, I'm ready to block. Like, really?
Yeah.
It's because I told him that I, had made some French toast for my daughter, and I was, talking to my kids, and I was like, I get ready. So then he sends me a text like 10 minutes later, can you talk? I wanted to be mean, but I wasn't. I wasn't mean. I just was like,
maybe you just weren't interested.
Huh?
Maybe you just weren't interested.
No, it wasn't that I wasn't interested. I was doing something. And I told you I was doing stuff. Why are you going to keep asking me?
But to me, I just kind of feel like when you find somebody that you're really interested in, they don't bother you.
No, it wasn't that he was bothered. No. Because I would have said this.
Do you still talk to him?
No.
Okay.
No.
My point exactly.
No, because he told me that, because I told him, I said, I'm getting ready and I don't want to be distracted. And he said, okay, no problem. Have a nice day with exclamation points. Okay. Because I look at it this way. I've had where I've talked or texted a guy and he's like, oh, I'm doing this right now. Can I call you later? Okay, cool. I don't take it, especially when I just started talking to you. We're not in any phase other than just talk. Because I would tell my friend that. I would tell my friend the same thing, right. A female friend. I'd be like, I'm busy. Can I call you later? Guess what? She ain't gonna be mad.
Right.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. That's, to me, how do you have a friend in a person that you're trying to be with if you're not even friends first? If I can't be myself.
Right.
That's how I look at it. These guys just want you to be in a romantic relationship, and then when they are, and then they find out that you are not the friend or the person, because you weren't trying to be friends first.
Right.
You weren't trying to be friends. You was just trying to just be in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And I mean, so yeah, I didn't even care, because it was just like, I told you what I'm doing. No, I can't talk right now because I'm doing something else.
Right.
If you had just said, cool, whenever you get done, whatever you're doing, then you can call me. Oh, okay, right. Cool. Simple. But I just think I think a lot of times men want to control women. I think that they want to control the narrative. And since I didn't do what he wanted me to do.
You can't put everybody in that category.
No, I was just saying, but this
might
particular,
be single if that's the case.
That particular person.
Yeah.
Like, when I say that, you're talking about being in a real relationship. That is something different. But when you're just first getting to know somebody, right. You can't put demands on them like that.
Right.
I just feel like you can't. You have to see what they are, see how they are.
If it's worth it.
Yeah, see how they are.
Forward.
Yeah, see how they are. Okay, well, they're busy right now. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
And if they really like you or if they really interested,
they will busily call you back.
Right.
Okay, I'm done. I can give you my undivided attention. I don't like to talk to people when I'm doing stuff.
Right.
Because first of all, I'm going to feel like I'm distracting you. Right. Second of all, I feel like you're not paying attention to the conversation anyway because you're doing something else.
When you talked to him that one time, mm-hmm. How did he seem?
Demanding.
Of your time?
No, just a demanding person.
Oh, really?
Like, he had all of these rules. And when I say rules, I mean...
Oh, okay. Well, then he's...
Yeah, like rules, like this is how things should be. This is... Because he told me that I sounded angry. How did I sound angry? I'm just having a conversation with you.
Right.
Did you do something to me? So already you're feeding into me that, and you don't even know me. Like, how do you just determine that?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why you really didn't care to talk to him too much. Probably.
Yeah, probably subconsciously.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't know what people go. I felt like men, they think that they have to be this strong person when it comes to a female that they want to really engage with.
Right.
And you don't have to be that way, especially because women, we go through a lot of stuff. We go through a lot of pain. We go through a lot of just emotions. We do that.
Right.
And you got to figure out how to go through that. Just sometimes just listening to what the words that she's saying.
Right.
can determine a lot. Like, she's not angry. Something upset her. Something made her sad, and she's, you know, she's not mad about it. She's disappointed.
Right.
Because disappointment can come off seeming that you're angry.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. I was just kind of like, he was just saying, he was just the way. I think it was, maybe subconsciously, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Or what, you know, what kind of, because he was like, women don't know what they want. They think they know what they want, but they really don't know what they want. Okay, men are the same way. So what does that mean?
Yeah, that's just...
Like, maybe you still need to go to therapy.
Yeah,
maybe your
probably.
therapy ain't working.
Because my thing is, if there's no connection instantly, then to me it's no point. Like, I'm not even interested.
Connection.
It's gotta be.
That's a good analogy. Connection.
Yeah, if there's no connection, I mean, what's the point?
Well, that's how I feel.
Unless you just doing it because you just don't want to be by yourself.
That's how I feel about it too. Connection is a big thing. It's a big thing.
And if it's there, it's there, and you can feel that from the very beginning. You talk to somebody.
Yep, and connection is one of the great ways to continue to learn this person,
especially if it's a mutual.
But I think, and I'm glad that you brought that up. I think when that happens, even though there may be a romantic connection there, you still need to treat it like friends. And when I say treat like friends,
like still take your time, get to know each other.
No intimacy, no kissing, no holding hands, none of that, because you are, when a person feels connected to you like that instantaneously, you're sending a signal that I want to take this to the next level already. I think that you shouldn't do that. When you have a connection like that,
don't rush into it.
Just be there, because then a lot of times they'll be when it's not a romantic intentions, then that person they're gonna be themselves with you. When there's a romantic intention, of course, their representative is going to show up because they want you to see the best side of them. But then if you just say, okay, we're just friends, even though you may like that person, I'm just going to get to know that person. Yes, I'm going to go hang out with them. I'm going to be around them because that's the only way you're going to get to know them.
Yeah.
But we're not kissing, we're not holding hands, we're not doing none of that.
Right.
Because it interferes with knowing that person, who they really, really are. And I think that's probably why a lot of marriages and a lot of relationships go by the wayside, because you jumped into the intimacy right away.
Right.
And then you don't know who they really are because their representative is there. And then once you are in the deep end with this person and all this other crazy stuff starts coming out, then you're like, what happened to the one that I met like 6 months ago? Where'd they go? So I'm just saying that I think, just for myself, that I'm learning.
Yeah.
That, you gotta be, the connection may be there and you're like, man, this person is probably the last person I'll ever be with for the rest of my life. But I want to be friends with this person so they will show me who they really are.
Right.
And if a person respects you, they're going to respect that boundary.
Right.
See, that's something and I felt like I was putting boundaries because he just kept bothering me. He kept bothering me after I told him what I was doing. And so I'm like, I got to put a boundary down, because if I don't, then I feel like he's going to try to push. And guys don't understand that there's boundaries, and they get mad at women when they have them, if they are trying to be aggressive of control.
Right.
And I don't work good with people trying to control me. Right. I already know that.
Right.
I'm just like a wild horse. You're not going to break me.
Right.
You're not going to do it, because I'm not going to allow you to do it. You can beat my ass. You can do whatever, but you're not going to break me. Like, you're not. You can't change who I am.
All right.
Yeah, and I think that friendship, if you really just want to be in a friendship with somebody, then you got to accept everything that they are, who they are, know the ins and outs.
Right.
But yeah, and not to like get off subject of the friendship, but I know we talked about Carly. Was it Carly Russell? Was her name? Yeah, Carly Russell. I mean, I'm just seeing the craziness with all of that whole thing. I mean,
it's just like
they even have. Oh, I just saw one with they had. What's his name? What's the comedian? I always forget his name. Little short guy, little short black guy. What's his name?
You talking about Kevin Hart?
Yeah, he had a stand up
about her.
I don't know when it was done. I don't know if this is a past one and she happened to see it and she used it. But he was talking about in his stand up. He was talking about a kid that he saw on the freeway and he's like, "Why is the kid running back into the woods?" Yeah, and I think this is something that he did past. I don't think this is new. This isn't a new stand up. I think someone found that and connected it with this situation with this chick, and I'm just like, that's some mess. That's some hot mess. This girl was doing some serious research because
you think she saw that stand up?
Yeah, I think she probably did. It was like, oh, that is a great idea to say there's a kid running in the. I don't know because I don't know when that particular stand up was done, and I don't think it's recent. I think it's something he did in the past.
No, because this just happened.
Yeah.
Earlier this month.
Yeah. So I think it's a past stand-up that he did, and she had to have seen it because what he was describing was the exact same thing that she did. I was like, this is crazy. Like, what psychology situation is going on with you?
Right. Unless there's more of a conspiracy to it.
It could be. Who knows? I mean, it could be everything. Like I said, everything's set up just like with this whole thing with the government talking about there's aliens, and you're sitting in front of a panel talking about this. Like, this is what our taxpayer money is paying for somebody who's getting paid $200,000 or however much a year for you to sit in front of a group of lawmakers and tell me about some aliens. Well, if they're real friends of the population, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just go ahead. I saw this one video where the person's like, okay, we got aliens. What are y'all taking all of the politicians and leave us here
to just figure it out?
Just to figure it out, but take all of the politicians in every country that's causing issues.
Right.
Go ahead and take them and beam them out in space.
Right.
Let us just figure it out.
Right. We live our lives.
Because it's just like, what do y'all don't got nothing else. Y'all don't have nothing better else to do. We got the gas is high, back high again.
Right.
The food is crazy. Then y'all putting poison in it that now people are really just starting to talk about it. And then they putting the modified stuff in it. Like you can't even eat no cookies unless you make them from scratch.
Right. Yeah.
And get the proper ingredients that doesn't have all that crap in there. I mean, it's just kind of like
all the pre-made cookies like Chips Ahoy stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
they putting all yes, they're putting chemicals, all that stuff in there now.
Graham crackers.
Everything. You got to look. Yes, it's crazy.
So you know what to look for.
Yeah, if not, I write it down. So when I go to the
because some things be long, like
that's what I got a phone for. I'll sit there and type that stuff in the phone and see what it is.
Right.
Because I'm not going to contribute to my demise.
Right.
Or the fact that you're breaking down my body immune system. So then when you guys decide y'all want to put out another pathogen out, then knowing that we can survive it.
Yeah.
But now that our bodies are so whacked out, like really?
Right.
So, there's a conspiracy in it to not only to me to make the population go down.
Right.
Because they feel that, we're overpopulated. How are we overpopulated? Anybody drive through Texas? Anybody ever drive through Oklahoma? Anybody ever drive through Montana? Anybody ever drove through some of these Nevada? There's so much land out there. It ain't nobody there.
Right.
So what are you talking about? Because they don't want nothing there. They don't want nothing there. That's why. That's why they don't build these cities there. They don't want anything there.
Right.
So yeah. So And then what else? Gosh, it's like so much stuff has just been just kind of crazy.
You ever see tumbleweeds in the desert?
Mm-hmm. There's tumbleweeds, yeah.
And
I
cactus?
know. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking about stuff. Like, I'm just thinking about this drive, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what are we gonna see? Like,
A lot of places you ain't gonna see nothing but just road, land.
so it's gonna be like in the movies,
Yeah.
where like it's these weird gas stations.
Yeah, I mean, usually the gas stations now they're more,
Like up to date.
that are up to date. I think
No
Texaco.
creepy stuff,
Yeah, not creepy like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you just make sure that if you're at a half a tank, just make sure you just have
Go ahead and fill it up.
Fill it up because you
just never know.
Yeah, you just never know. Because I know when I went to California last year and we drove from Carlsbad to Arizona, there was parts where it had a sign, no gas station for 200 miles.
Oh, really?
Yup. So your butt better have a full gas tank before you start driving those 200 miles. Yeah, you might as well go ahead and fill up. Because they do have signs. They do have signs that say, you're not going to get no gas until this many, and then you want to make sure. Because you never know. You may come in contact with, who knows? You just want to make sure you have gas in your car.
It's just better to be prepared.
Yeah. And there was when we went back from Arizona to Carlsbad. I mean, not to Carlsbad, but to Lemoore to our reunion. There were times when it was like nothing. And then they have, it's really weird. I don't remember this as a child because I grew up on the West Coast. But they had like these little border things there. And from Arizona to California.
Yeah.
And they stop you and they're like, do you have any fruit in your vehicle?
Y'all?
Yeah, everybody who they have these little posts. And I asked Lynn, I said, what is this? She was like, because they claim that when you buy fruit from Arizona, you're carrying some kind of bug from Arizona to California. And I was just like, well, do the bugs know Arizona and California are not supposed to go over to California? I mean, this is all open air, right? So they can, like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Right. It's like, how are you going to keep them?
How are you going to keep them from going over there? Oh, they just go in the fruit. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's how the insect world works. I think the insect world moves when they want to move. I mean, it's like animals. Animals are going to move where they want to move, wherever there's food at, wherever there's water. They're going to move. They don't sit there and say, oh, we're supposed to be California bears. We got to stay over here. They don't know that. They're moving because they migrate. All animals migrate at some point. Right. That's just the way it is.
Right.
Humans do the same thing. They migrate. Eventually, I mean, look at Atlanta. It's full.
Or if somebody gets bit and they get infected with something and they go to another state.
It's the same thing.
Right.
It's just the way the world is.
Right. You can't prevent everything. You
can't prevent everything, but I think they put money into things that don't make any sense.
Right.
I'm just making up a job.
Right.
You're going to be just standing out in the middle of nowhere in this little post thing.
Checking fruit.
Asking people.
Like, how do you know?
Because they ask. They just want to see if you're going to lie or tell the truth. Because I'm sure people probably have fruit all the time.
So that's all they're checking for?
Yeah, they just ask you, do you have any fruit? They ask you, do you have any fruit or vegetables in your vehicle? No.
That you got from Arizona?
Yes. No. They don't ask when you go from California to Arizona.
It's just if you're coming from
Arizona to California. No, we don't.
Are we gonna go through Arizona? Probably not, right?
I'm not sure. You gotta, however you guys, because there's different ways to go. I mean, when you go to Texas, I think you're gonna go up. So you're probably gonna go through Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma and I don't even think you hit California. You go to Oklahoma. What's that other state? Because I was thinking about moving there. Oh my gosh, it's where
west.
Yeah, it's where it was. Gosh, I can't even think of the freaking state.
It's not Portland, is it? Oregon?
It is Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. I was thinking about moving to Oregon at one point.
I think it is Oregon.
Yeah.
Because I think Oregon and Nevada's touch.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think you're going to go through Oregon to get to Nevada.
Yeah.
You don't even need to hit California.
No, because California is past.
Well, California, the way it sits, because Nevada is above. You don't even need. I mean, unless you want a detour, there's no reason for you when you hit Texas, you're gonna still keep going up north. I think,
right.
And you'll go parts of Oklahoma, and I think eventually you'll, So you're gonna stay more north than going more down south.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's like I said. Whew, I don't even know how long that drive is gonna be for you guys. It's gonna be because I know from here to Dallas, Texas, I think is what 12, 13
that's where
hours.
Michael lives.
Yeah, he lives in the suburbs of Dallas. Yes. So.
And you've been in his house before, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like Dallas?
Oh yeah, I love Dallas. I actually did. It's very beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't probably live in the city Dallas, but on the outskirts.
Like you would go and visit.
Oh yeah.
Or you would.
If I had the opportunity to live, yeah. If I had the opportunity to live in Texas, I would live probably in the Dallas area, just probably a little bit further north of Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just nice. I mean, it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. And the houses that they build are beautiful. They're way better than Georgia homes. The new homes, yeah, because because everybody gets a fence. And they don't.
Oh, it's standard?
Yeah, it's standard in the new builds that they have to put a fence around your house. Mm-hmm. Yep. So everybody has a fence. You don't even have to worry about fencing in your backyard. Right. They actually put wood shelves in your closet. They don't put them little funky. What is it? The little iron one that I hate. That is cheap. That cheap crap.
Right.
That I feel like this. If I'm paying $600,000 to $700,000 for a home, I'm gonna need you to put some real shelving in the closets.
Yeah.
Because that cheap stuff, it's cheap.
Right.
And then if you want to take it out, you got to take it out and you got to redo your walls again and then redo. It's like, why? Yeah. Why don't you put in real wood?
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably cheaper to do that than it is to put that plastic crap in there, because I hate those things. I hate it. They used to do that back in the day when they first built homes, that they put the wood stuff. Now that they just like everything is cheap. Like I have a thing on my phone. I have an app, and I always look at the housing just to see, the housing market. Things are going down or whatever, and it's just like these little crackers. I saw this one house. It was what? It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. No, 2-bedroom. 1-bath house.
Right.
I think it probably was I think it was right at maybe 900 square feet.
Yeah.
And it was kind of needed some repairs, needed some update.
Yeah.
They wanted over $200,000 for this piece of crap. I'm like, well, who's smoking
Where was
crack?
this at?
This was in Noonan. And this is just stuff that I see. I'm like, who's smoking crack?
Right.
Like what bank is going to give you $200,000 for this dilapidated house?
Right.
Like who? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand the whole market thing, because it's crazy, because it's not like they're making the houses better.
Right.
They're not better quality homes.
Yeah.
They just spruce them up. They put a little bit more crown molding in there.
Right.
But they don't
It's not worth it.
They don't put top of the line appliances in there.
Right.
They don't give you a refrigerator. If I'm buying $700,000 house, I'm gonna need a refrigerator. It needs to come with the house.
Yeah, everything.
The whole entire kit and caboodle. Like, and then they use it. They don't use the lighting and stuff. It still is El Crapo, still kind of what I call builder quality. Yeah. Like, and then you got to go and take all that stuff down and put up stuff that you want. And it's not even that much cheaper, or it's more expensive by getting nicer stuff.
Right. It's
just like, I don't know if it's because they buy it through bulk, because that's the only thing I could think of. They buy it in bulk and they store it in their little warehouses. And then when they build these houses, they go in there and get it from there.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. I should have, that's why I said, people who can afford to get custom made homes, that's a real house. You can get it custom built, and you can put custom everything in there. Yeah. But then, that's a whole different level of tax brackets.
Right, yeah.
When you're doing that. But to me, it's not worth it. These houses that they're building, and they're charging almost $1 million house, almost $1 million for a house that's like under 3,000 square foot homes.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And the garages are still the same size as they were when these houses were at 250.
Right.
What are you doing different?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything different. And the land, a lot of the land is small. It's smaller. It's on a smaller lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, because like when I go out, I'm telling you, like, it's so depressing. It's so depressing to see. It's like, this is a $4,000-$5,000 mortgage.
Right. And
these houses probably in 2018 were probably only worth $275,000.
Yeah.
300,000 maybe if you got over an acre of land.
Right.
And now I got 1/4 of an acre, and I'm paying $700,000.
Yeah.
And I got I got no refrigerator, and I got to buy a washer and dryer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna need washer and dryer too.
Right. Exactly. I'm gonna need all of it.
So like I said, it's really crazy. But yeah, I guess going back to, what friendship is, and like I said, I just wrote some stuff down. But the characteristics of a true friend is honesty, responsible, and kind. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
They don't want to take responsibility of their actions. They don't want to take responsibility of, what they do wrong. And I think if you're a real friend to somebody, you're going to want to take responsibility, especially if you kind of did dirty stuff to them or did something dirty, and then you just pretend like you didn't do it.
Right.
Are you really a friend?
Yeah.
Like, no. Because first of all, I'm not going to do anything dirty to a person that I would want to be friends with or consider them a friend.
Right.
And if I did do something that hurt them in any way, shape, or form, I need to have a conversation with them, because to me, that's what grown adults do. Kids don't have conversations.
Right.
But grown people have conversations. Okay, I did something foul or whatever. I didn't mean it, or I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
And, understand that person's perspective. And I think a lot of people that call people friends or say that they're friends, they really aren't, because you just can't hurt people when they're your friends.
Right.
Not hurt them intentionally.
Yeah.
Or if you unintentionally hurt them, you need to have a conversation, especially if that person is acting funny towards you. Right. Because I always believe that when a person changes up on you, that they were friends with you, that they talked to you or they did certain things, and you did something wrong and they expressed it and you ignored it, and then their behavior changes, you aren't really a friend, because you're not really paying attention. Okay, they were this way. Why is their behavior changing towards me?
Right.
I need to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
To me, that's what a real friend would do.
Right.
A real friend would do that.
Right.
But see, they don't want to take risks. To me, they don't want to be accountable for their crap, and they don't want to be accountable for whatever.
Right.
So that's why I said, me going through my stages of really learning who I am as a person and what I'm going to accept, what I'm not going to accept, the boundaries that I'm putting up. I'm learning that, hey, if you can't communicate with me, or you can't talk to me, you can't be straight up with me, you can't say, you know what, let's fix this, or let's find out why you feel this way.
Right.
Then I'm just gonna let you just be whatever you do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, make myself readily available anymore.
Right.
Why? Because I feel like I'm mentally hurting myself.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Especially being, a woman, and we are very complicated creatures at times. So yeah, but let's see. True friend supports and encourages tolerates our shortcomings, accepts us unconditionally, and cares for us no matter what.
True.
And yeah, and like I said, it's hard to find. It's hard to find those people. It's hard because everybody, I feel like, wants to be something they're not. They want to be fake. They want to say, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's like, but is that your character? What's your character?
Yeah.
I see what you're doing on paper. I see what you're doing, but who are you really?
Right.
Nobody wants to show who they really are. Right. Because they don't want to be vulnerable. I think they're afraid that you're going to be shunned. Let's go drop the drink. They're going to be shunned by their peers.
Yeah. And
I think that, you know, a lot of people, like, even though people sit there and say, I don't like fakeness, I don't like this fake world, but you're contributing to it because you are afraid to be yourself. Right. Because you're afraid that someone is going to, you know, dislike you. And I guess that's the difference between me. I used to care. I think probably when I was a lot younger, I used to care, but now I don't even care. Like, if you don't like me the way that I am, it don't matter what I do, you ain't gonna like me because you've already found fault in me. And am I disrupting you or anything?
Oh, no. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just talking to myself. Hey, how you doing, Lexee Love? I'm doing well. Oh, that's great. I guess we just gonna have a podcast by ourselves. Yeah. I may drink some more drink. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you barely didn't drink your drink.
I told you I really wasn't because this would be my second one. And I had some tequila earlier too. So I have to make sure that somebody can, you know, keep the conversation going.
No, we both gonna keep the conversation going.
Mm-hmm. So, and then, you know, we plan on watching. Oh, yeah.
You talking about the movie?
Oh, my gosh. Yes. What is it? They clone Tyrone.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I will say this. I don't know if y'all watched it yet.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix. Yes. It was everything. I'm trying to think of the word that you would say. It was condescending to black people.
Yeah, it was a comedy movie too, but comedy thriller, I guess, or maybe comedy drama.
Drama thriller. It was a little bit of everything, but they talked about black folks and chicken, that they putting something in the chicken to make us act a certain way. Right.
It's pretty much about control, ultimately.
It's pretty much about control,
the population,
and how they're supposed to live. Like now, certain people didn't get cloned. Only people who were a demise to the black population, were getting cloned. This is spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. You gotta watch it because there's a lot that's going on. But yeah, and they even put, what else did they put? They put it in the they put it in the grape juice that you know when you was a Baptist church, they pass it around to the congregation to do the thing. They was putting whatever kind of stuff in to keep you what is it? Where you keep you from, kind of like a drug. Keep you from being, when they don't want you to be aggressive, then the music changed because they was at the club.
Right,
and
exactly.
And then they wanted them to be docile. That's what it is. And so they changed the frequency of the movie. And then they was just like, hey, yeah. So when they didn't want you to find out something that was truth or facts,
they had these different triggers.
They had these different triggers that would trigger black people to do a certain thing.
Right.
And it was crazy. So like I said, they only cloned the people who contributed to the demise of black people. So that's basically who they were cloning. Because when they told that one girl, we don't need to clone you, there's a dime a dozen with you.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And he wasn't lying.
And you said that.
I said that before. I was like, yeah, she's not cloned.
Right.
And then they came out and said that because what was it? Kiefer Sutherland is in it as well. And I thought he was, I've always liked Kiefer Sutherland. I've always liked him. Him and his dad are really good actors. But
what character did he play?
He was a white guy. He was the one
bad guy?
Yeah, he was the white bad guy. The one that came out the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And said certain things and triggered them to make them do certain things. Yeah. It was, like I said, it's deep and it's crazy.
It just makes you think, like,
what are they really doing behind the scenes? That's pretty much. Like, I mean, the fried
pretty much just tell you.
The fried chicken was, because every time they showed it, the commercial was the fried chicken was on TV. It was crazy.
It was a line out the building.
Yeah, they was eating that line out the building eating the chicken. This is that's like Popeyes and
I love Popeyes.
Yeah, you need to stop eating Popeyes because you don't know they probably they keep you docile.
You start laughing when you eat some chicken.
Yeah, because they started.
Everybody was laughing. Like even they started laughing. And Jamie Foxx character is looking around and he's like,
"This is stuff that because
everybody. How's this? Everybody laughing? Mm-hmm. Like it's something in the chicken.
Yep, it's something in the chicken." Yep, and then all
the chicken.
And then all the white people that were doing the controlling, they had afros. Like really? So I mean, I really, like
it was funny. It was a funny movie. It was just kind of like
I wasn't. Oh gosh, what is the word? I wasn't. Oh gosh, I can't even think of the word. I wasn't offended at all. There was no.
I thought it was funny.
I wasn't offended because it's like this is some trueness.
Mm-hmm.
There's some trueness to this. Some truth into this because this is how I never lived in a ratchet neighborhood. Never did. I'm one of the black folks that did not grow up.
You're not from the hood.
I'm not from the hood at all. So, but when we lived in California, we used to go visit my mom's sister and she lived in South Central. So I saw a little bit of it.
Right.
And so, they was like, I just like, there's a little bit of toxic too, because like when him, the one of the lead actresses and Jamie Foxx, when they would interact with each other, I guess he had a love interest for her, but also a hate. Like they would just be going back and forth, rah to each other.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, Jamie Foxx character was a pimp.
Yeah, he was a pimp, and she was
one of his girls.
That was one of his girls until she decided I don't want to be one of your girls anymore.
She wanted to go to Memphis.
Because she wanted to go to Memphis, but she lived with a grandmama, so that was the whole thing. Right. But they still had because there was a line in there where he was talking about that he was attracted to her, and she was attracted to him, but they still had so much toxic going on because every time he'd say something, he'd be like, blah, 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 and then she'd be like, blah, 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 blah. Right. So you look at it, it's like, that's really how a lot of, unfortunately, not saying a lot, I don't know, I'll take that back because I don't want to do that. Right. I've seen where people can't not stop messing with each other, even though they're so toxic.
Right. It's actually a lot of that, honestly.
Mm-hmm. A lot. And is it in the food? Because what else did they have? I know they had the grapefruit, they had the chicken. They had something else. I can't remember what it was. They had the music.
The hair.
And the relaxer. In the relaxer. Because she had natural hair. She had natural hair.
And they didn't realize she had a wig on.
She had a wig on the whole time. And they was putting the relaxer in her hair. They're trying to make her docile as well. Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. So if you hadn't seen the movie, I'm telling you, you need to watch it. Get a good laugh.
It definitely makes you think about things.
It makes you think about
when you go out and you just kind of see people around you, and it's like, we really act like this.
Mm-hmm. A lot,
or when you go to the clubs and stuff and they play certain music and everybody's just kind of
like crunked up, bum, and then they said, be like, okay, they too crunk, let's turn it down. And it's like, yeah.
Right, exactly. Or black people start fighting each other like how they did with the two guys, how they would change the music. They were fighting at first and they changed different songs and then they would start hugging on each other. Oh yeah, they had them experiment on them. They were doing experiments and they were changing the lyrics of the song. Right. And then it was a hate song. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then they was fighting. Right. And then they said, okay, we're gonna change it. And they changed it. Oh, I love you and hug or whatever they did. And then they started the stuff. It was crazy. Yeah, pretty much music controls. That's what we always say that. The lyrics. Whoever controls the music controls the world. Right. That's pretty much how it is because it's all frequencies. We're going to keep it low key. We're going to keep it low vibrational frequencies. Right. And y'all going to act like rats in a maze.
Y'all gonna act like animals. Y'all gonna disrespect women. Don't have nothing. Everybody hate all this. Y'all, you know, my bros before hoes, all this crazy stuff, and it's all through the music.
No.
And you have to be able to tune it out. Like I started back listening to my frequencies again, but then now I've gotten where right now I'm even at a place where I'm not listening when I'm in my car driving. I'm not listening to anything. I'm actually just talking kind of prayerfully right now. Just really having a conversation with God, just really
manifesting and stuff like that.
Yes, but not manifesting, but also telling him things that I need changing in my life. Things that, you know, that I need help. I need this. I need this. That you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm blocking all of what's going out on the planet.
Right.
I'm trying to just focus on what Lexee needs right now. Right. And what things I want to prosper up more, and, you know, stuff like that. Because right now it's just, you know, I'm learning about who I am and what I'm going to tolerate, what I'm not going to tolerate. I mean, I think I'm getting cutthroat. Like, I can already tell, oh, you know, right. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, you know, and I mean, I had another guy was like, ooh, baby, can you just give me your phone number?
Just somebody you saw?
Somebody else, yeah. Ooh, baby, can you give me your phone number? No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Because first of all, I'm not your baby.
Right.
I'm not a child.
Right.
Come at me with some respect.
Yeah.
You can't respect me and talk to me like a human being? Yeah. Or talk to another human being?
Right.
I don't got time.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that. Like, I'm learning. And it's not that I didn't know, but it's almost like, I think when we are empaths or we're people who have compassion,
I'm definitely an empath for sure.
We feel like we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm gonna have to start hurting feelings. I'm not hurting feelings. I got if you doing something that's just crazy to me,
it's easier for me to do. It's like I'm an empath. Like, I feel like I have a lot of empathy for people. But if you show me that you just are just not a good person and you intentionally like do stuff to hurt people, then ain't nothing for me to cut you off. Like,
yeah.
But if I care about you and I see, okay, that you really are a good person, stuff happens to people, whatever, then that empathy is there. Yeah. But to me, if you just seem like you just a bad person, like you just really are a bad person, like genuinely inside and out, I don't have any kind of sympathy for you whatsoever.
Yeah, or you got zero compassion.
You're right. Like, I could care less.
Yeah.
Or if you just drama, you just messy, you just doing this, doing that, like...
Well, you don't even have to be drama or messy. You could just be a person that...
Even somebody like...
Selfishness. Just be selfish for no reason. Like, this person... Now, I understand you being selfish towards people who've taken advantage of you. Right. I get that. Right. But if someone is showing you that they're not those people or that person that you've dealt with that's shown you that they don't give a rat's butt about you, but you treat me the exact same way, to me, you're just a selfish person. You're selfish by nature. And there's absolutely nothing I can do to change that or want to even like, it's like, okay, well, you know, deuce. Because I don't want to deal. We can't go through life just being completely selfish and thinking about it's only me, it's all about me. Whenever it's me, I cannot stand those type of people. Right. Because all you're going to do is just be there for me when I'm on my high horse. Right. And I got things going on. It's like, oh, hey, what's up? I see that you're doing this. Well, oh, remember when I was at Skid Row and you wasn't talking to me? You wasn't saying nothing to me when I was riding the bus and I called and asked you, could you pick me up? And you didn't answer to my phone, or when I text you, you left me on read? Yeah. That's like the most disrespect in the entire world to me, is leaving people on read. I will respond to you whether you like the response or not.
I do it sometimes.
I don't like it because I don't like it being done to me. So I always.
So you're saying you've never done that to anybody ever?
Actually, I have not. I've always responded. Whether it's maybe it may not be right initiated like 5 seconds after, But I don't leave people on read. Because I've been left on read so many times. And it's just like an irritant to me. Like, just say I'm busy. Just say I'll call you later. I'll talk to you later. Because everybody walks around with their phone. Everybody walks around with their phone. You cannot sit there and tell me that you did not see the message. You cannot sit there and tell me that you didn't know that somebody reached out to you.
Right. Unless
your phone is off and you are taking time.
Right. Are you at work or something?
Are you at work? Yes. And then sometimes you may have the chance to be like, okay, well, I'm on my break, so let me go see. Then you're going to be like, but then you're going to tell them, hey, I was at work, or I'm on break now. My phone, I can't have my phone on the floor or whatever.
Right.
That's something different.
Right.
But to ignore somebody completely, and they're just having a conversation with you, and you ignore them, and then your excuse is that, oh, I didn't see your message. Since when people don't carry their phone?
Right. Well, iPhones you can tell unless they turn their thing off. But
yeah, but who does that? Not too many people. Not especially when they're in some type of business or they're the type of person where every time you're with them, they on their phone.
Right.
See, that's why I said I peek people out. I peep them. I observe. I don't say nothing. I just observe people. I'll be like,
right.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie. I have my phone all the time. I have my phone. I took certain apps off of my actual face of my phone because I felt like I was being addicted to it. So I was like, you know what? If I get notification and it's worth for me to go look, I'll go look.
Right.
But for me to keep having that app on my homepage, I kept doing this. And I'm like, I knew that to me, that was an addiction. So I said, I need to remove it. Right. And if something comes on that's worth to me opening the app, then I can just push the notification and it'll come on.
Right.
But that to me, no, I won't leave anybody on read. I just don't like it. I don't like to be ignored, and don't leave me on read. And if you do not respond back to me within a few hours and then you respond to me, tell me why. Don't just sit there and say, oh, I didn't see your message. Really? Right. So you hadn't had your phone all weekend or your phone all week or whatever?
Right.
Like, don't lie to me. Like, don't lie. So, yeah, the last thing is, because I was going to write down, they had some, I did write a few. Well, I did. Actually, I did. I wrote down 2. The meaning of friendship to these people, and I'll tell you who the head said them. Friends are those rare people who ask how we are and then wait to hear the answer. And Ed Cunningham had said that. Don't know who Ed Cunningham is, but I'm
these are quotes?
Yeah, these are quotes. So I'm going to, give them their quotes. Shout out. And Oprah Winfrey said this. Lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. And I go back to that your real friends are when you are
ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die, or you rock bottom and you trying to pull yourself back up, and that friend is just sitting there with you. Like, you okay? You need anything? Right. Have you done this? Have you done that? Oh, I know somebody who, has a job, and I can try to get you in on that. Anything.
Yeah. Those are
real friends. Or you can tell them something that's going on with you, and they will have a solution or say, well, have you thought about this? Have you had to me, that's a friend. Or just listening. Sometimes just listening, especially if the person said, I just need somebody to listen to.
Right.
They'll listen to me. And then they tell you, and then as a friend, you can sit there and say, would you like my opinion about it or not? Yeah. Sometimes they'll be like, no, I just want to, I just want someone to listen.
Right.
Do you think that's what a real friend does? It's not just, oh, you're just my friend because, I like you today. Maybe tomorrow I won't, but today. It's like being on the playground with kids.
Yeah, right.
Like, you sat next to Sally, and I don't like Sally, so I'm not your friend today.
Right.
Yeah, I remember those days. I know Jillian had said something to
she goes to
Mercedes, and she was like, I don't have any friends at school. And I was just listening to the conversation, and I told her, I said, you know why you don't, people, first they are attracted to you and like you, and then they don't? It's because you have a light in you that they don't. They're attracted to that light, but then once they know that you can't be manipulated by their darkness, then they don't want to have anything to do with you. I said, because you are a very loving person. You know, Jillian is very loving.
Yeah, she is.
So, yeah, and that's what I told her.
We had went with Sierra to get her eyebrows pierced, and there was his family in there. They had two young kids. They had a daughter and a son. The daughter was probably around the same age as Jillian. And you know how kids are. Like when they see another kid, they just stare at them for some reason. And so she kept staring at Jillian, and Jillian was like, "Mom, I don't like the way she's looking at me. Like she's got a mean face." And then I'm just like, "Dang, you that observative?" Like,
yeah, she is. She definitely is.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, the little girl just kept staring. Pretty little girl, light green eyes. She was just looking at Jillian like.
Yeah, why don't you? Because kids are not the same. They're not like. I can remember when I was little and my mom.
Or like babies, like we see babies or little toddlers, like they'll wave. You know?
Yeah, because it's that pure intentions. It's pure. It's nothing. Right. There's nothing. There's no agenda there.
Right. They don't know anything.
Yeah, but when I was Jillian's age and we lived in the Philippines, and my mother was she was a softball player. She was on a league, and we used to go out there. My mother did a lot of stuff, like a lot. My mother was very active in her community, very active. But when she would take. Obviously, we went because we were young,
right?
And there would be kids there that were playing and stuff. We all played together. It wasn't like I didn't even know they named. We just played because it was a different. It was like we didn't care. We just wanted to play. I wasn't gonna sit there on the bleachers watching my mom play, so I wasn't interested. I wanted to go because I wanted to see what new kids were gonna be there, so I could play. Kids don't do that now. They just be looking like, and so it's sad to me that children can't even be children anymore because social media has ruined it for them. Right. That's how I see it. Because anytime a child looks at, because they're very impressionable, they look at all the other little kids and see, oh, they got this, they got that. Look at what kind of house they live, what kind of birthday party they got, this and this. They start comparing. So then that comes in and they're like, well, I don't have that. I'm not doing that. My mom can't afford that. Why can't I do that? And so I think that they don't have the childhood that I had because there was nothing to compare, nothing to. Right. And a birthday party, if I got a cake, that was good. Right. And I'm not sitting there saying there's anything wrong with having an extravagant birthday party for your child. I'm just saying that was not something that was desired. Like it wasn't. Right. Like it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. Because there was times where my mother had a big birthday party. She had taken, which is funny because she took one of my Barbie dolls, and I was looking for. I was like, "Where's my Barbie doll? Where's my Barbie doll?" And I was like, "I don't know. You probably lost it."
Oh, she took it?
And she took it, and this lady that she was friends with made Barbie doll cakes. So the lady knew how. It's weird. I don't know how she did it.
So your birthday was coming up.
So my birthday was coming up, and there was a whole. I even have pictures of it. I know there was about 30 kids at that birthday party. And this little boy, his name, I'll never forget his name. His name was Ricky. He was like, I was just so in love with Ricky. Like, what? How old was I? Turning 8, I think. Yeah. So we have a picture, and he's sitting next to me. I'm sitting at the head of the table, and then everybody else. And she brought out the
So she put the doll in the cake or
something? They put the doll. I don't know how that woman did it. I don't know how she cooked. I don't know how she made the Barbie doll cake. Because the Barbie doll was, unless there's a mold... I'm sure that's probably a way to do it. That she molded the cake some kind of way and cooked the cake, and then after the cake cooled or whatever, then she's able to stick the Barbie doll into the cake and it fitted, and then she did the whole decorations because it was she was in this big extravagant dress, and it was a cake.
The cake was a doll?
Yeah, well she cooked. I'm assuming. She cooked the cake some kind of way. She cooked it, and there was something there was a hole in it so the Barbie doll could fit in it after the cake cooled. Right. Once she stuck the Barbie doll in there, then she decorated it, and it made it look like this big, extravagant princess dress.
Okay.
And then it had a hat. She had put a hat up, frosting hat on it. And so yeah, that was.
So
we
it looked
have
like
pictures.
a dress.
Yeah, it looked like a dress.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You ever seen this show? Jillian put me on this show. Mm-hmm. I only looked at it one time, but I thought it was just like the neatest thing, and I think I want to get a cake like this. Mm-hmm. Where is the show is called "Is This a Cake or Not?" or something like that. And bakers actually make cakes, and they look like real things.
Oh wow!
And on the show, you had to be able to tell: is this a cake or is this
an object?
Right. And it's like food, like real food, purses, liquor, anything. They could copy it and make a cake out of it. And they had to tell, and it was hard to tell. I was like, God,
because you're
this looks real, but it's a cake.
Is it on YouTube?
No, it's on, I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, really? Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, it's a neat show. And I'm like, okay. And there's actually people that make cakes like that in real life, because I went on Instagram and looked online. There's people that actually
that's
pay somebody to make a cake out of something, out of a purse, out of a shoe, anything.
That's a serious art, and it looks real. It don't look like a cake. It looks like you can't eat it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I bet you that costs some money.
Yeah, I mean probably around $100, I guess, depending on
what it is and how big it is.
Yeah,
but that would be something neat. Like
you
walk in.
I bet it's very time consuming, because he gave them 8 hours to make something.
Yeah, that is time consuming. So you're paying. You're not only paying for their time, you're paying for their expertise in making it look like an object.
Right, because think, if somebody puts in a cake, how long that's going to take you to make that cake? That's your whole shift, 8 hours.
Yeah, and then they probably have to piece. It's pieces of cake.
Exactly.
It's not just one big cake, because they have to cut
it.
You gotta form it.
Right.
Before you can actually ice it and do all of that. But that's crazy.
Yeah,
that
a lot that goes into it. I was like, that's kind of neat. But yeah.
Yeah, that is.
So I think that'll be cool to have a cake like that, especially since.
Or have you? They take your photograph.
Since me and Mercedes gonna be in Vegas, and it's so crazy because it's like we always said we wanted to celebrate our birthday in Vegas, and we'll both be out there. So I think that'll be cool. We can celebrate our birthday together and get a cake.
You finally managed since 2018. The manifestation is happening.
Right, finally.
Yeah. Because I think every year towards 2018.
Right.
We
said we don't go. We don't go. We actually about to move out there.
Yeah.
Still never been. So.
Well, I went, and I told you guys, I was like, man, if I could move out here tomorrow, I would be. I loved it when I went out there. I loved it. I did. I loved it. When I got off the plane and we got out off the strip area.
What do you feel like you liked the most about it? Just that there was so much to do?
That and I like the way, I guess maybe because I grew up in the desert areas. Yeah. I like the desert. I just like that plain. I like the way it looks.
Oh, really?
I like the way it looks. So it's
like aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, for me it is. The businesses, they keep it very luxury. Right. Like it's not like here in Georgia where when you go someplace it look old and decapitated.
Everything is nice.
Yeah, everything is nice. Even Home Depot, you're like, that's Home Depot? And it looks like I mean, everything is nice. The way they build is very, very nice.
Yeah.
And like everybody is like, I guess everybody out there got money, because I mean they drive into the grocery store in Lamborghinis and and Tesla's is a Toyota. That ain't nothing.
Right.
Like some of the cars, I was like, seriously? they dress like normal. They're not flashy at all. They just got on some sweats they got from Kmart, and I'm just saying that, meaning that they've
got money.
But because ain't nobody. I'm not driving a house on wheels, because that's what you're paying.
Exactly.
That's a house on wheels.
Right, unless you got it. Like that's all your cars are luxury cars.
But that's what I'm just saying. It's like it's not a big deal. Like it's not, and nobody pays attention to it. It's just kind of like that's the norm.
Just how it is. Right. But you probably saw a lot of it in California, right?
Yeah, when I was in Carlsbad, very, very ritzy area. Because Lynn, she drove me around and was like, oh, this and this. And she was telling me, she showed me the house that a murder happened in it.
In her neighborhood?
No, it was a house that's on the beach.
Like, this was like well known?
Yeah, this is well known. It was on the news and everything. And
it's haunted?
I don't think it's haunted. It's that they never figured out what happened. Like a little boy, there was a man, his new wife, and then his son. Well, the son, I don't know what.
How old was the son?
I guess maybe 8 or 9.
Okay.
And he, from what I think she told me, is that he skateboarded or he skated down the steps and hurt himself. I don't know if she said hurt. I don't remember. I don't remember what happened to the little boy. If he hurt himself or he died. I don't know which one. But within the next week, they found the woman, the
mom or the girlfriend?
The girlfriend. She was hanging off the balcony, butt naked, and somebody had killed her and hung her. And they
she was hung like a lynch? Like
she's hung like a lynch and she had no clothes on.
Outside the house?
Outside the house, because on the patio area.
And what happened to the dad?
They don't know. They don't even know how. He wasn't even there. He was on. Okay, now I remember the story. He was, I guess, on travel. The guy was on travel. The stepson to her was there with her, and he was doing something which caused him to go down the steps, hurt himself, or whatever. And then while the man was still on travel, she got killed in the house. They don't know who killed her.
So they know for sure it's not a suicide.
Yeah, because they said there was no way it could have been a suicide. I guess they can determine a suicide based on there was no chair, there was nothing.
Yeah, because how do you throw yourself
out
of a window?
There's the way, I guess the way that where
so
the
you saw the house?
Yeah, I saw the house. A beautiful home. Beautiful.
Do people live there?
People live there now. The people that got killed, no, they don't live there. The person who owned the house prior doesn't live there, but I guess he sold it. But yeah.
So is that something that happened recently?
I guess it happened, probably maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, but she's like, yeah, it was all over the news because she pointed out the house and she told me the story. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, they stripped her. They didn't have any clothes on, and there was no, because obviously suicide is always going to be a thing. If someone's being hung, they're always going to think suicide.
So that's how she died.
I guess.
Didn't do anything.
I mean, if they did, they're not going to tell the public.
Right.
Exactly, because then if the killer knows how they killed her.
Right.
But yeah, she was hanging from the thing, and they said it wasn't a suicide because there was nothing for her to stand on to kill herself.
Right.
So in somebody had to be there. And so
That's kind of weird.
That's what she said. And the story is weird. It's weird because nobody knows. And I was like, somebody knows. It just maybe.
So they didn't say if it was like a serial killer or if there was other stuff going. It's just random.
It was just random. Yeah, and it's on. Like I said, it's on the main strip of the beach. You can see the house, and it takes up probably about 3 or 4 lots. It's a nice size house. It's beautiful. I mean,
right.
Because she was like, I said, can you get anything less than 5? She said maybe like a 500 square foot home. She said, but everything on here is upwards of 10. And it's too crowded to live on a beach like that. I mean, it was beautiful, but it's just the houses are just packed.
Right.
On top of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, it was so nice. Because I was telling you, that's the beach that you should take that area because it's nice. You don't have to worry about all, a bunch of weird
5
people.
hours?
From Vegas, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah. But I did. I loved it. I enjoyed it when I was there. I mean, Carlsbad is beautiful, and you can smell the beach water. That's how close we were to the beach.
So it's like a beach town.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's all the coast of California is, a beach, and you can smell. Anytime you can smell the beach, and it's clean, especially when you're like 2 or 3 blocks.
Do you seem very touristy?
No, not in the way you think. I mean, you see tourists there. You can tell that there's people there that don't live there.
Right.
But a lot of people, you can always tell because they're walking their dogs. California is so different. Like your dog can eat everywhere you eat at. People have their dogs. You could sitting down. People have their dogs. They're very, just different. It's different. Yeah. It's not like here where, they're like kind of like, still like you can't bring your dog unless it's a service dog.
Right. Yeah.
You can take your dog everywhere.
They probably have restaurants for dogs.
Yeah. We sat out on the, they have it. She took me to this really nice Italian
They bring their dogs inside the restaurants?
Some of them will let you, yeah. Some people probably don't, but a lot of them, a lot of places do.
Because to me, that's kind of weird. It's like, why do you want to bring your dog into a restaurant?
Some people are just weird like that. They just do. They just do. But we were sitting on the sidewalk because they had a sidewalk seating, and we were sitting, and people could just walk through while you're sitting there eating.
Right.
And so yeah, it was different. Like they
have stuff like that, where it's like they have a patio, and but people are still walking by, and they got a bunch of little stuff to do and see.
Oh yeah,
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and they have a lot of boutiques. So she's like, "You want to go to boutique?" I'm like, "Nope, I already know I can't afford to go in there."
Right.
And I was like, "I don't even want to go because I know I'm gonna see something that I don't need, and then I'm gonna buy it, and then I'll be mad."
I paid all that money for that shirt. What did I say? I paid like around $30 for a little crop top. It's real cute.
It is real cute.
It's real cute, but
sometimes you have to splurge just a little bit. I don't mind splurging because I know when I went to Texas with Mercedes, and they got Jillian and Vans, and they had a Vans camouflage rain jacket.
Did you get it?
I sure did. I got that, John. It's in my closet right now.
You gotta show me.
Yeah, I paid.
It's a rain jacket.
It could get wet. It's one of the kinds that can get wet. But yeah, it was like $65. Yeah, it's real cute. It's like $65, and I was like,
I gotta have it. Like
I want it.
You can get it. It's okay. Like you
that's what we work for. At some point, you can't just sit there and just say, "I'm not gonna ever buy me anything." Splurge.
Right.
You have to splurge because if you don't, you're just gonna be like, "Why am I even?"
living.
Yeah, why am I even working? Why am I even doing this if I don't splurge on nothing?
Right, exactly.
You gotta have something nice. We're only here for a short time.
Exactly.
You can't take the money with you.
Yeah.
But I guess we just gonna, I was gonna talk about one more thing before we got off that, I don't know, since you're still younger than me and you haven't experienced a lot of stuff, but you probably don't remember. And I just wanted to.
I feel like I've experienced a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm talking about. You haven't experienced everything. You still got because of your age. So you still got some years to go.
What else can I do besides go overseas? Go on a cruise.
Yeah, and go. Yeah, there's still a lot. I'm just talking about friendship. I'm sticking to friendship.
Oh, you're talking about people.
Yeah, people that I just wanted to talk about. I always think that because we were talking about friends. So friends, male or female.
Yeah.
And I think. Out of all the male friends that I've had, I had 3 really good male friends. And you were little. You and your sister were small.
Y'all were just friends?
We just friends. We were friends.
Okay.
And I can remember when I was going through a lot of stuff, and I didn't have a whole bunch of money.
Right.
I had one of my friends. He just out of the blue bought me a bunch of groceries.
Okay.
That was a really good friend. That's when y'all were little.
Yeah.
And then I had got really, really, really sick. And I had called him and I was like, I can't take care of Valentina and Mercedes.
Yeah.
And he was actually in the medical field. And then I was like, I called my mom, and my mom said that if somebody can take me to her house, then, she'll take care of me. He came over there, picked us all up, drove us all the way to St. Mary's County. He stayed there the weekend. I was out of it. I was that sick.
What was wrong? You had the flu or something?
I don't know what it was. I probably had coronavirus and didn't even know because I was that sick.
By the 90s?
Yes, I was that sick. I couldn't even get out of the bed. And my mom, by the time it came and went just like that. So by the time it was a long weekend, a holiday
so you
weekend.
were just sick for a few days.
Yes, and my mother had.
And it was just random, like.
Yeah, it was random, and it was some hot tot. She gave me some stuff.
She gave you hot toddy.
She gave me a hot tot. My mom was one of the. Yeah, she was one of them queen bees when it came to getting you back on your feet.
Yeah.
And I just remember he came in the room and he would see, because he was in the medical field too.
So he stayed there.
He stayed there the whole time.
I guess he had to, because he was taking y'all back.
Yeah, right. Or taking you were there too. You were little. You probably didn't even realize what was going on.
Right.
And so, yeah. And I guess I had another friend that I had, and they always did stuff for me as well.
Okay, so what happened with them? It was never.
No, we were just just like I said. You know how people just come into your life when you need them the most,
and they're just friends,
and they just do stuff, and then seasons happen, and they just it's not anything that is good or bad. It's just you just move on, or I moved on, or I moved. A lot of times I moved.
So you just kind of fell out of contact with them.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but not in a bad way. But I just, was just thinking about friends, and the friends that when I've had really hard times, I can say out of about 3 guys that I was friends with that they really came through, and I didn't even have to ask.
Right.
I didn't even have to ask. He just one day came over. He's like, "Oh, I just bought you and the girls a bunch of groceries." Okay.
Yeah.
Because he had it like that. I mean, he had it like that.
Right.
So, but I guess that's pretty much, the topic for tonight, friendship and, just a little bit of other things mixing in. I don't know what I'm going to talk about when we do it again for the next podcast, but I'm sure I can figure it out. I mean, I'm sure probably some.
You got writer's block?
No, it's just, it's not that. It's just that, I just want to talk about something, that's kind of exciting too, not just a school lesson.
Right.
I like to just talk about stuff and just see what's going on. And a lot of times I forget about things that I want to talk about. Maybe that's what I should do. I should write what I want to talk about, and then so it can, trigger my memory. But yeah, I mean, just so much stuff is going on in the world right now. Yeah, I don't know where we're going, up and down, sideways. I don't know. Crazy folks.
Yeah.
Saying that they getting kidnapped or not kidnapped, and
right.
The hotels. We'll probably talk about that. Now the whole hotels, they've been using them for, child trafficking, and they finding false walls and false floorings. Oh yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. That's all I can say. It's a mess.
This is like different places, different states,
different hotel chains.
Do you think the hotels know about it?
I don't know who owns them, but obviously the people who work in there has to have something to do with it. People who actually work in there,
because the hotels are set up like.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who's involved, but. Because they were even saying that, you can buy these little things now when you go in hotels to see if there's cameras in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was just telling Mercedes that the other day, because she was watching this movie about how 2 brothers and their one was married and the other was his girlfriend. They had rented out this place, and there was an actual guy that bought houses to rent them out, put cameras all over the houses, watch these people, and then go and kill them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Sick folks out here.
That's what I said. Sick. We gotta, and that's not the first movie I've seen where people put cameras up and they just watch people and they, do weird stuff. They watch them, they scare them, They're making what are those kind of? There's a name for those type of movies. They made a movie about it too. Like this was based off true events?
No, it had Nicolas Cage in it.
It's like, what's the point? Like,
and they're called something films. Oh gosh, I don't know. Somebody saying they're this film. Where they watch, they take a victim and they kill them, and then they sell it, and
they sell the videos.
They sell the videos, and it's sick. But there's a name.
There's a reason why they record it.
There's a name. No, their intention is to kill the victim.
But they sell the video.
They sell the video, and people are buying it because they exclusively want to see that snuff films. That's what they're called, snuff films.
So those are specifically you killing somebody.
You're killing somebody. It was called 8mm, I think that was the name, with Nicolas Cage in it. Yeah, and it's based on snuff films. And this old man had died, and he was a very, very wealthy man, like probably a billionaire man. He died. His wife came across the snuff films, and she wanted to know.
So he was buying snuff films?
Yes, he was buying snuff films, and she never knew. This man was died when he was like old. She was old, he was old, and and Nicolas Cage's character was like a private eye kind of thing, investigator. And she didn't know if the film was real or not.
Right.
And she wanted to find out what happened to the girl, because the girl was probably like same age as, Jada's 16, 17.
Yeah.
And they killed her on film. And she wanted to know what happened to the little girl.
So that must have been the most recent one.
No, this movie came out in the 90s. This movie came out in the 90s. And the whole thing was that he was a private investigator, wanted to find out, and he ended up finding out that the girl that was killed, her mother, was like she I guess she was a runaway or something, and she never heard from her daughter ever again, and she was concerned because it was like a couple years.
So the daughter ran away.
I think the daughter ran away or something to that effect, and these people got her, like he was on the street or whatever, and they befriended her.
Right.
And then he found out who was behind the snuff and who was the guy who actually murdered the girl, which was weird because the guy who murdered her, he was living with his mother, and his mother was a devoted Christian. And as soon as he was so loving to his mom or whatever, and the little Bible people would come pick her up and she'd leave out, and then he'd turn on his devil music. Like it was like, that's all he listened to until his mom came back home. It was crazy. He was insane.
So insane. His mom didn't know.
His mother didn't know that he had a different personality, whole different personality. It was crazy. I'm sure there's probably somebody who saw the movie 8mm. I think it was 8mm. But it was snuff films, and I think that's a real thing. So
he was the one doing it.
He was the one. He was contracted and paid to do the killing because that's what he was. He was a killer, but he wore this mask, so you didn't know who he was.
So he would set up cameras and kill people.
Well, whoever was paying it, it was like an industry. It was an industry. So
Black
he was
market.
So he was just part of the act. But he was actually doing the one killing, and he wore this, like, I don't know if it was a pig head or whatever.
So
but
they would pay him, and they tell him, this is what you going to do.
Yeah, that's what you're going to do. And he enjoyed doing it. But he had two personalities. He had this one personality where he was loving to his mom, who went to church and all this stuff. And as soon as she would leave, he turned on this music that was crazy. Like, it was like your brain is, like, exploding.
Right.
And then, Nicolas Cage figured out who he was, and they figured out who was financing all this. It was a whole big mess. It was big, and I'm just like, it's probably even bigger.
And stuff.
It's probably even bigger than that. I mean, they just showed a small portion of it. So it's like, if they did this in the 90s, then no telling what,
they're still doing it now.
They're still doing it now.
Movies about it.
Yeah, like they just pick people and just say, okay, well, we have a snuff film, and that's what they do. So probably, like you said, they had another movie the same way. It was a hotel, and it was two A-lister actors, and they were at this hotel, and these people were making films about killing people who would come to this hotel and would stay there. And then they start doing this weird stuff. And eventually, I think the wife is the only one that survived, because they eventually killed the guys who were doing it.
Right.
And her husband got killed, but she was able to figure out how to get up in the roof area of the hotel and stay up there until daylight before she could. I think she was the only one. She survived. Her husband did not. He pretty much sacrificed himself for his wife.
Yeah.
So she could live. But yeah.
Wow.
And I'm just like, and they were, because they had saw this man, because they were thinking, because they were getting harassed or whatever, and this guy drove up, and they're like screaming, ah! And then they saw he was buying the videos, because what they did is that this is how they scared them. When they got into the room of the hotel, there was no TV, there was nothing on television, but there was a videotape, VHS in the room. So they would sit there and, they would watch it. It's like, well, there's nothing else to do, so we'll watch it. And they would just show the people, and they would be like, this looks like the room that the people were in. And they just keep watching it and watching it. And eventually it showed them getting murdered. Where y'all going? So yeah, it showed them getting murdered, the other people on the video. And so they're just like freaking out. But that was their whole tactic of scaring them at first. And then they're trying to figure out, and they couldn't get out because they locked them in the room.
Oh, wow.
So they couldn't. So then it was
It was too late by then.
Yeah. So it was a whole big thing. Yeah. It was crazy. And I forgot the name of that movie, but that definitely was the same type of snuff films that they would make these. And the reason why they're like, I guess they were eventually talking to the people or talking to the guy, why are you doing this? And he's like, we can't make money. There's nobody that stays at these hotels. We're not making enough money. So we had to figure out how to make more money.
So the people that own the hotel
they
were the ones doing it.
They were the ones doing it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I said, you can't be sleeping at no shady. It was a shady hotel too. It wasn't one of them. It looked like
it was like that one movie we watched with this couple, and the girlfriend was just like, why you want to stay here? Like, it's weird. And he was just like, no, it's okay. Let's just stay here or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? They ended up getting got that night when they went to sleep. Somebody was under their bed. And we watched it. We both watched it.
You can't be staying that shade.
And then this is the people that end up kidnapping people and putting them on the farm. They was eating them.
Oh.
That movie. Yeah, that was that movie.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
breeding the women.
Breeding the women and then killing their babies.
Yep. Just to eat them.
Yeah, because they were taking their milk. They would make them impregnate them, and then they'd give birth, and then they would milk them because they wanted the milk, the human milk. That is so gross when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, because I remember I said, I can't watch this. I said, whoever wrote this movie is sick. Like, who thinks about stuff like that? Like, I mean, I know I'm a writer and I write stuff and it can be, but there's certain things I'm just not going to write about because it's weird to me. Like, it's a dark place that you have to go to.
Yeah.
It's a dark place. When you're talking about, I just, I'm not going to no little seedy looking, half the Norman Bates hotel situation.
That's why we were talking last night about how, because I watch too many scary movies to just,
This is like, nah,
And then they talking about aliens and stuff now. That's all I need to see is a damn UFO.
I don't need to see the UFO. I'm gonna need them to walk on there. I need them to come down the street for me to even believe you. I don't care about nothing about it in the sky because y'all can create that and make that. If y'all can make a stealth airplane, then y'all can make a round object.
So you would think somebody would actually make that up? You just randomly happen to be outside or just driving and you just randomly see? Yeah, I don't think it's what they say now. I think it's man-made. I think it's human-made. Just like with the aliens? Yeah, I think it's human-made. It's not real. I feel like I have something on my head. It's just another tactic to keep us afraid and fearful. Now, what they create in the Petri situation, I think it's something like that out there. I mean, they can make. If they can clone human beings, then I'm sure they can clone other things. We don't really know because there's mankind out there that just wants to destroy humans. That's all they want to do. They just want to destroy. I think there's things out there. Oh, I'm sure. And maybe that's what I said. They just covering up. They are covering up. They cover up a lot of stuff. Why wouldn't they? We're only use it when it's necessary. When we need y'all to be more afraid, we need y'all to fall in line,
then this is what we're going to do. This is a fall in line. This is a fall in line category. Okay, bring out the Bigfoot. Bring out this. Bring out that. Even though they could destroy all that stuff, they don't want to. This is useful for them. It's all about control of the population. So we're going to make them, how are you going to, just like a child, how do you control a child? We're putting fear in them.
Yeah.
That's old. That's as old as is the Bible. Old is ancient text. Fear gets people to do what you want them to do. That's it. And people don't even realize that they're conditioned to be fearful. Right. We are conditioned to live in fear, and we really don't. Because if we didn't, we would rise up against it.
Right.
But we've been conditioned to be fearful. Well, you're gonna lose this. You're gonna lose that. This is what you're gonna lose. You ain't gonna have this. You ain't gonna have that. That's what it is. So you can't. Anybody talks about. I understand how slavery went on for 400 years in this country, whatever, because they controlled them with fear. Right. That's all. One person out on the plantation out in the field with 5, 6 big buck black men, and you on a horse and about 5, 7 and 150 pounds, and you got all these men out there, and y'all ain't trying to do nothing because y'all living in fear. Right. That's what it was. That's what kept it going. Fear. And then somebody got tired. You just got tired. You got to get tired. You got to be tired. I think you got to be tired. I think we got to get so tired that we fear that it doesn't control us anymore. Right. But until then, we're going to live in fear. Yeah. That's how it is. But I know we're going to leave you on the note with that. That's what we're going to leave y'all. Yeah. We're going to leave y'all on that note.
Yeah. Exactly. So you on them. Yeah, because we did this. We've been doing this for 2 hours.
Oh, dang.
Because I remember looking at the clock and it was 6. That's how I was like, oh, we making good time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get off. You guys have an awesome day. And thank you for watching Candid Talk with Lexee Love and
Valentino versus Valentino.
See you on the flip side.